Hello everyone, this is my first review on this channel and I am reviewing Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou, translated to Yokohama Shopping Trip Journal. Now, these are the 3 volumes that I own. There are more, I think there's a total of 5, but I could not afford all of them. But I have read the whole series online, and I just need to save up money to buy all of them. So, Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou is a calm, bittersweet, and peaceful collection of vignettes centering our main character, Alpha, you can see here, who runs a small cafe outside of what it was formerly known as Yokohama, the city of Yokohama in Japan. The world in which this manga takes place is currently in the midst of like a slow burning apocalypse, as some kind of unexplained disaster has caused the sea level to rise and flood the lowlands. This has caused much of the infrastructure to be swallowed by the water. Despite that, though, no one really seems to mind very much. Like, it's not that kind of apocalypse where, like, it goes into, like, nihilism where it's like, oh, the world is ending. Like, everyone is, like, kind of not wanting to do anything anymore. In here, the few people that are left living in the peaceful, quiet, like their peaceful, quiet lives scattered around the land don't really seem to care. This tale is of a cozy apocalypse as humanity approaches its age of twilight and has decided to go gentle into its goodnight, as Grumpy G-san said in his review, looking at the sunset disappear over the horizon as the night sky engulfs the remaining light. I do want to quickly apologize if I stutter. I stutter a lot. I am kind of nervous, but yeah. So, our main character, Alpha, is an android, and I think she's some sort of like hyper advanced artificial intelligence that makes her special because she's different from the other robots that we see. Because she's like more human. So she has like this sort of like quirky and innocent personality that I don't really know how to explain. It's one of those things that you just have to read it to understand. But her existence enriches the lives of people around her and just makes her presence more enjoyable to anyone, be it human or robot. Often we see Alpha talking to the people who live around her, befriending new people, singing and playing her instruments, and just enjoying the small pleasures of life as if she were a child. That's one of the main points, the main things that this manga's about. Just kind of enjoying the small things and looking at the small things. So Alpha, being a robot, she's able to watch the 2 only children that we really see in the manga. I think there's some other ones, but there's never like a central focus on them like there are on the 2 main ones. Takahiro, and I always forget her name, but she's this other little girl. But she's able to watch them grow up, and eventually they move away and have a child of their own together. She also watches this old man running the petrol station get older with time, and most importantly, though, which is another central focus of this manga, she watches the world around her slowly drift to sleep as it deteriorates. And I've kind of hinted at it just from what I've been saying, but the profoundness of this manga comes from its way of beautifully portraying the message of time in a melancholic yet somewhat positive way. The best I can describe it is like when one of your grandparents, and this is gonna get really specific and kind of sad, but the best way I can describe it is like when one of your grandparents knows that their time is near, yet they try to make the most of it and enjoy all the time they have with like everyone around them, even though everyone knows that it won't last. There's like that, I don't know, it's like positively melancholy, like a positive melancholy feeling. I don't have a name for that. If anyone knows a name that's watching this for that specific feeling, please let me know. I really need that word. But yeah, because everything around Alpha is gradually changing and eroding away and just transient in general, but she's a robot. She does not age and is therefore like a permanent being in a transient world. That is not actually an original like quote from me, but I read it in one of the reviews in Goodreads and it was really good. I just don't remember who wrote it and I can't quote them because I could not find their comment anymore. But yeah, later on in the manga, she has to come to terms with the fact that like the people she meets are getting older, like I mentioned with the children and the old man, that they're either going to move away, like it did happen with the children, or in the future they will die and she will remain alone to remember them, which is really kind of depressing. And all of this is just communicated beautifully, like indirectly in the manga, hidden behind a veil of pleasant conversations and the emotions by the characters. It's just so profoundly beautiful that I can't do it justice by just putting it into words. It's one of those things that you kind of have to see on your own. And I will, near the end of this, cut away and show different panels from the manga just because the artwork is beautiful. And talking about the artwork, that is something I want to go on to. But before that, I just want to mention too that it's just this manga does such a good job of portraying the passage of time and how like slow it is, but how all those like slow changes accumulate over time, and eventually you just don't know what happened or when everything changed, and it's just so beautiful the way it does it. It's also one of those like it's really calming, and someone once described it as nothing happens and it's beautiful. And it's true because nothing really happens in the manga. It's just it's just like well you don't really notice anything until like the end. Just a bunch of small changes happening over time. And it's just very beautiful the way that is. And I know I'm repeating myself too much, but I just can't put the feeling that this manga like portrays into words. I know the genre of this manga is called Yashike. I think that's how it's pronounced. I mean, yeah, it's Yashike, which is like healing or something like that, and it's also Nichioku, which is slice of life. Both of I'm really fond of both of those genres. Slice of life in general is amazing. I'm a big slice of life fan, and yeah, this manga is just amazing for that. You have to kind of be in a sort of mood to read it, or else you really do get bored of it. And it's also one of those things where you can't binge read it. You have to take it slowly because if you binge read it, it just kind of it just destroys the feeling that this is trying to portray because it is in a episodic nature. Well, sort of. Some things do carry over, some things don't. It just it's just better to read it, take your time with it. These three volumes here, and it's not the complete set though, but these three volumes you could probably read over the course of a year, even though they're not very long. And I would recommend doing it that way because it just makes the experience so much more meaningful. And one of my friends actually told me that if you journal your way, like your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts after every chapter, and just like write them and don't read them again. But then once you're done with the whole series, kind of come back and start reading all of them. It's really incredible to see how you change over time as you're reading this, and it's just really nice. But anyways, I went on a long tangent there. I just want to go back to the artwork because I want to mention how beautiful it is. You can kind of get some sort of like a sneak peek of how good the art is from here. Of course, I've heard that this publishing company for the manga that I have here kind of doesn't do it justice as the original, or you can find scans online, but I still think it's really good even in here. But yeah, the artwork is it's amazing as I've mentioned multiple times, but it's never really so over the top that it like beats you over the head with it. It's kind of like looking over a valley and seeing the landscape. Nothing stands out and it all kind of blends in together into like some form of visual symphony. I I'm a music person, but I'm not really like an art like physical art like this type of stuff. So visual symphony for me really makes sense as to like how this art is. And it's also an important aspect of the manga because there's oftentimes words can't describe something and the artwork does all the talking. There are actually many times when pages have no dialogue at all and are just like drawings of a background or drawings of some scenery. And I think those are some of the best pages in each chapter because they say a lot about the environment and they make the silence of the scene feel almost tangible. And it really just portrays the transient nature of the environment really well. Because there's multiple times throughout the whole series that you'll get a background of the same place. And over the course of chapters, it'll change. And the seasons also change in the manga, and it's also really amazing to see how it all looks so different in different seasons. And it's just so amazing. It's so amazing. And overall, I just really highly recommend reading this series. It's an amazing elegy to the humanity as the earth pulls its soft blanket around us as we go to sleep, and the robots, our nightlights, keep the dark at bay. And it's just so amazing. And so the original comment I read said, nothing happens and it's amazing. I would like to rephrase that a bit to nothing happens and it's deeply beautiful. Because I think it goes far beyond just being amazing. And it's such a meaningful and beautiful experience to read these mangas. It's amazing. Sometimes I even feel a little sadness just when I think about Alpha. Because, I don't know, if I was in her situation, I would not be able to take life in stride the way she is. I would be worrying about all those around me who I know I will outlive them, And it's just so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This manga, as much as many people say it about other manga, this one is one of those that has really deeply changed my life. And it's just so beautiful. I read it once in a while whenever I get in that specific feeling, that specific mood. I just pick it up and read it, and it's so beautiful. I will definitely read more of this genre, which I mean, I already have. And I will make more reviews here. So if you receive this from me, this video, it's just because I didn't feel like typing out an essay of a review. I don't think anyone else is going to see these videos, but if they do, feel free to subscribe if you like my reviews. I don't know how many I'll have by the time you look at this. And yeah, I'm going to cut away and I'll just show some artwork without me talking. So yeah, I think that'll be it for now. This video kind of went on longer than I thought it would. But if you really enjoyed this review, please let me know in the comments. And I'm always open to any sort of criticism, whether it be constructive or you just want to, let your anger out on me. I don't really mind. Please let me know how I can improve these. I am, of course, only working with a phone camera. And I'm a poor college student, so don't expect too much on high-end production. But anyways, I will stop rambling on, and thank you if you've made it this far. I'll make sure to have more reviews whenever I can, and the scripting is just kind of what takes me the longest. But yeah, I'll probably do a couple other manga next. I'm thinking of doing Nazo no Kanojo X, or Mysterious Girlfriend X, and maybe some Tsukumizu, like Girls Last Tour, or Shimeji Simulation. Some of those, maybe. I'll think about it. Yeah, or maybe Okumo-chan flashbacks. I don't know. I'll stop for here now. And yeah, thank you for watching.